Everyone, and welcome back to our channel. Today I want to talk to you about something people are asking me about more and more. Are governmental reports real, and are they similar to DMCAs? Yes and no. And in this video we will go deep into this. So first of all, I am being contacted by many people who are seeing their DMCA pages, right? Page DMCA here, DMCA there, delisted from Google. They go to Lumen, try to find a claim. They search their brand, and then they find many times something like this: governmental request removal complaint to Google. It is a real thing and is one of the many legal things you can report to Google, and then they somehow store in the Lumen database, just like defamation or the DMCAs we already know about. So this is a real thing. However, it is not as easy as DMCAs. DMCAs, you just claim you are the content owner, copyright owner, and Google acts. Governmental requests, of course, work the same way. And if you request it and you are successful, pages will be de-indexed, delisted from Google search. However, Google does not do this automatically just because someone reports it. Usually, to be successful, there has to be a legal claim, court order. There has to be something they can act up on something, right? But that doesn't mean it's not happening. This is happening a lot because we are in a territories as iGamers where we shouldn't be. It happening a lot to UK. This I see a lot of this in Lumen. UK, if you are a casino without a valid license, or if you are an affiliate promoting those. So it is something to keep an eye on. However, the process is a little bit more difficult. There are several platforms where you report it. Obviously, Google, social media, you're reporting the illegal content, including unlicensed gambling. It is a big problem right now. Then regulators, this needs to go through regulators. So if you are illegally serving France, you need to go to the local regulator and then report it there. And the national authorities, they can issue blocking within the territory, and then this can be used to report to Google. Okay, so there are several steps. It's not as easy. The form looks like this, is on Troubleshooter, and again, there is a million forms you need to fill in. So it exists, it's real, and it can happen to you. However, Google requires a real legal grounds. It's not like, okay, I don't like this casino. I actually don't know if they have a license or not. I don't care. I'm going to report it. And Google would like, oh my goodness, you reported them. Let me delist them. Nothing like that. There has to be either a valid legal claim or court order or a clear policy violation. When I'm cleaning DMCA claims, many times I request a counter notice and they write back, sorry, this is actually policy violation, and that's a different team. So many times policy violations are going through, but is not in a scale of DMCA, so rest in peace. Court orders are very, very powerful in this moment if you are actually requesting the governmental removal. So government issues a court order or blocks the website, and then you can report to Google, okay? So Google will comply with the court orders, might act on judgments, or can use court findings as an evidence when they decide to remove something. If you are a gambling site, which most of my followers are, if you are violating local laws, if you are blacklisted by the regulators, yes, you are in a risk of being delisted by Google, and I will explain you the differences here. So if Google is acting upon this because there is a legal claim, they will remove your URLs from SERPs, and it will look a little bit similar to DMCAs. So your visibility will be significantly reduced. However, if the claims are weak or abusive without any real claim, without any legal court orders, Google's not going to act upon it, just washes its hands. And there is a difference between removal and blocking. Blocking is on the governmental level, right? And on a territory level. So your website can be blocked from access in France, However, you can still be able to search that URL and find it in SERPs from the other territories. You might even be sort of like seen in France, but you'll not be able to access it. Removal from Google means delisting and losing visibility. Two different things. So removal by Google happens for many different reasons. One of the ones we all are very, unfortunately, even too familiar with is DMCAs. Yes, you are claiming copyright, you get delisted, and then you need to fight it back. Policy violations, we already said. Spam and malware concerns. This is going to be another video because people actually get flagged for it, even though they are not being spammy or malware-y. So there is a new video coming. And then the legal complaints and court orders, okay? So it is a real thing, but much more difficult than the MCA. And important thing is that you can still access the URL. The URL is still going to be there. It just removes the visibility. And you can sort of recover it depending on which one you got, but we will talk about it. If it's the Google delisting, obviously your traffic is going to collapse and probably you're going to lose revenue. Governmental blocking, on the other hand, is blocking at a governmental level. So your ISPs will be blocked, DNS will be filtered, and basically you will not be able to access the website that is blocking a territory. Let's say a lot of people are right now going to Hungary because it's a new sort of thing and you need a license there. You don't have it using your Curaçao license. Government will most likely block you. It doesn't mean Google will delist you. Okay? Two different things, apples and oranges. Which one is worse? Well, if you are targeting one territory only and your websites are blocked, governmental is definitely bad. But for the business and economic perspective, definitely the Google removal is more devastating because if your page is filtered out by Google and delisted, it's a global thing. It's not just the one territory. Destroys traffic, destroys visibility, and your revenue plummets. People are still seeing lots of similarities between governmental reports and DMCAs. Yes, you need to report to Google. Yes, there is a removal process. Yes, a loss of traffic by delisting is damaging. Those are all very similar. However, DMCAs are much easier because Google doesn't really check for your copyright. Governmental things are much more trickier. But if you have a court order, feel free to go to Google and say, look, they are blocking this territory, broke the rules, delist them. Might happen. The concern is that it is not too transparent how this is all done and moderated, how it is moderated, and that government can actually influence search visibility while they're protecting their territory from bad actors. And there is just lots of, I don't think they're too similar. There are similarities, but they are not too similar. And here I want to go through the key differences. So let's go through Google removal, because Google is what matters to us right now. It is a decision of the platform of Google. It affects your visibility. Of course it does. If 10 of your main money pages are delisted and people cannot find you even through your branded name, your revenue is gone. But the URLs itself are still reachable. You can still click on it and it still opens without saying, this is breaking rules within our government and we are blocking you. And you can reverse it depending on what level it is. Governmental blocking is the state action. As I said, it could be France, it could be Hungary, it could be China. Then the URLs become not accessible and you usually get a message saying this was blocked by government. It is usually a legal decision and you will need to fight it legally or maybe the policies will change. So it's not that easy to unblock. However, what to do if you get blocked by government? We already know that if you get blocked by Google and delisted, you fight it with Google. You open your counter notices, your legal claims, and you go there. But what happens if government blocks you? First best step, as I always say, is be proactive, not reactive. If you have a good brand name and you want to be visible, create brand protection. Brand is what you're trying to build. Brand is what you have to protect. Your brand, your money. So find domains that are good for your brand protection. Try to block the SERPs. Create proper SEO strategy for each and every one of your brand protection sites. Not all of them are going to work. Not all of them are going to work the same. Some of them are going to work mega good, not just for branded keywords. Sometimes they became a website on its own, and some are just, no matter what you do, doing nothing. However, this is practice you want to put into your strategy. So if you are working with brand, and a lot of you are, protected, okay? Then redirections. This is very usual in our industry. Website gets blocked. We redirect to website 1, website 2, website 3, website 4. Here is several things people do. Sometimes they redirect humans and bots. Sometimes only humans, bots are being somewhere else. There is a lot to be discussed here, and there is lots of approaches to redirections. However, redirections work till they get blocked again. You can redirect with 301. Obviously, that's passes most link equity. But if the government checks the old one and get redirected to the new one, then obviously you might be sort of blocked again. You can do temporary redirect, such as 302, 307. It will not pass SEO value as much. If governmental visits and they get redirected again, they might block you. So you might just want to pass the bots and keep the old website. There is a million things people do. As well, you can do technical setup on HT access, PHP, a lot of things. And here is the golden little loop that we found using AMPs, accelerated mobile pages, because we already know they're amazing because they are faster, right? They load on your mobile devices easier and faster. They maintain SERP visibility, stay indexed during issues. This is very important to keep in mind. And as well, and third one is the most important one, appear in Google Cache. Governments are for now not able to block Google Cache. So ISPs, governmental blocks are ineffective against Google AMP's cache. So I want you to remember this. This is the bypass, of course, for being blocked by governments. It is a nice workaround. I know they are a pain to set up, depending what system you're using. On WordPress, I think there is a plugin for them. If you are in a huge company and the setup is going to be 7 months, then start now, because you want to make money even in 7 months. Thank you very much for being with me today and listening to me. I hope this video was useful to you.
If you got value from this video and want direct access to us, weekly calls, training, and the latest SEO updates, and a community of people operating at this level, click the link in the description to join the boardroom. We'll see you inside.